Hello and welcome to Nimasa This Week, the voice of maritime. Brought to you by the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa. My name is Ubong Essien, and as always, it's my pleasure to be your guide on this voyage, a voyage of insight, a voyage of knowledge, a voyage into all that pertains to our waters, a voyage about understanding how blessed we are as a coastal state, a voyage into untold riches and wealth occasioned by our waters.
This is Princess Vicky Astrop, the Executive Vice Chairman, CEO, ENL Consortium Limited, and you are watching Nimasa This Week, the voice of maritime. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. It's still Nimasa This Week, the voice of maritime. On today's episode, as always, we begin with the DG's diary. What has the Director General of Nimasa, Dr. Bashir Jamo, been up to in the past 1 week? I can tell you quite a lot as far as advancing the triple S of maritime security, maritime safety, and of course, shipping development. You'll get to find out some of this on DG's diary. Also on today's episode, we'll take you into our special, the world of wrecks and derelicts underwater. What most people know as abandoned vessels. Are they a total write-off? What nuisance do they constitute? And can they be recycled? Well, you get to find out in our special package on wrecks and derelicts. Then there's Know Your Conventions and our other regulars. So if you're ready, as we always say here at Nimasa, it's anchors away.
Introducing the Nimasa Distress Response Call Lines for all maritime stakeholders, ship owners, seafarers, ship captains. Whatever your challenge or distress in the Nigerian maritime domain, please call 0803 0685 167, 0708 0005 956, 0700 0700 010. If you can't reach us on these lines, please call 0700 0700 020, 0700 0700 030. Also via VHF Radio Channel 16. Call and Nimasa will respond. Former Bauchi State Governor and ex-Nimasa Board Chairman Alhaji Adamu Muazu was at the agency headquarters to facilitate with the DG, Dr. Bashir Jamo, on his first year in office. The DG was joined at the meeting by Engineer Victor Oche, Executive Director, Maritime Labour and Cabotage Services, Mr. Chudi Ofodeli, Executive Director, Finance and Administration, and Mr. Shehu Ahmed, Executive Director, Operations. Alhaji Muazu congratulated Dr. Bashir Jamo and his team for the groundbreaking achievements and giant strides the agency has taken since he assumed office as DG. The former board chairman highlighted the various changes he has observed in the agency since stepping down as board chairman, while urging the DG to continue with the good work. Earlier, Dr. Jamo thanked Alhaji Muazu for the visit and appreciated his support so far for him. He reiterated his commitment to pursuing programs that will benefit the agency and other stakeholders in the maritime domain. In a follow-up meeting, the Director General of Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency Nimasa, Dr. Bashir Jamo, recently visited the Danish ambassador, Ambassador Jesper Kemp, on issues relating to the deployment of the Deep Blue assets. At the meeting, Dr. Jamo discussed cooperation on the deployment of deep blue assets and the role of Denmark towards securing the Gulf of Guinea with the ambassador. It will be recalled that an earlier meeting was held a few months ago at the Danish Embassy on the safety of seafarers and ships in the Gulf of Guinea and how to develop a more robust maritime security strategy. Hence, the meeting between the DG of Nimasa and the Danish ambassador to fashion out modalities and operational framework for the Danish government's support towards addressing maritime crime in the Gulf of Guinea. With the deployment of the deep blue assets, it will boost capacity to address and combat criminality and raise the confidence of all shipping stakeholders as well as return calmness to the maritime domain. The Director General of Nimasa, Dr. Bashiru Jamo, has made a case for the prioritization of seafarers' training and development in the nation's quest to expand access to gas resources. Speaking at the Decade of Gas Development Conference at the Transcorp Hilton Abuja, Dr. Jamo focused on the human element in terms of gas carriers, seafarers, and how Nimasa is currently working to improve their training to more modern standards to be able to operate major gas vessels. He noted that gas carriers are getting more sophisticated, so the industry needs better trained seafarers to operate the vessels and raise standards at the Maritime Academy of Nigeria, ORON. Dr. Jamo stated that Nimasa has been doing its best through its statutory funding of the institution to ensure it has the required facilities and equipment for training and development, citing the recent acquisition of simulators, among others, by the institution. He also noted that Nimasa has begun partnering with NLNG to ensure their vessels are registered under the Nimasa registry in order to improve the tonnage under the Nigerian flag. In the first of our two-part series, we explored the issue of wrecks and derelicts underwater. According to the International Maritime Organization (IMO), the term wreck means a sunken or stranded ship or any part thereof, including anything that is or has been on board such a ship. The Nairobi International Convention on the Removal of Wrecks 2007 provides the legal basis for states to remove or have removed shipwrecks that may have the potential to affect adversely the safety of lives, goods, and property at sea, as well as the marine environment. The convention provides a set of uniform international rules aimed at ensuring the prompt and effective removal of wrecks located beyond the territorial sea. The convention also includes an optional clause enabling state parties to apply certain provisions to their territory, including their territorial sea. According to Nigeria statutes, 3 different agencies, namely Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nigerian Ports Authority, and National Inland Waterways Authority, share the responsibility of wreck removal. There has never been a time in Nigeria when the exercise was taken holistically. In the course of the Maritime Agency's CEO's monthly meeting, an agreement was reached wherein Nimasa was given the go-ahead to remove wrecks in Nigerian waters. The negative impact of wrecks include damage and degradation to the environment from oil leakages from abandoned vessels, additional pollution risks from chemicals and hazardous materials on board wreckage, danger to navigation of transport vessels along the channels, and damage as a result of physical impact. Amongst other things, the benefits of wreck removal and recycling include improved safety along navigational corridors, employment opportunities in the new industry, revenue generation as value is created, technical know-how for capacity expansion, environmental gains, and sustainability. The removal of wrecks from the Nigerian waterways is a long, costly, but necessary venture. To begin with, there is need for identification of locations and distribution of wrecks, determination of modalities for the removal of each wreck or cluster of wrecks, definition of the mode of disposal, including delineation of areas for the dumping of removed wrecks, and determination of economic uses of the wrecks removed. In our next installment, we shall delve into what Nimasa is doing to address and harness the critical and colossal challenge of wrecks and derelicts along the nation's coastal corridor. Dock workers in Nigerian port now have more reasons to smile as the increase in their wages and entitlements have been signed by all parties of the National Joint Industrial Council at a ceremony held at the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency headquarters in Lagos. Present at the signing ceremony were representatives of Seaports Terminal Operators Association of Nigeria, Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria, National Association of Stevedoring Contractors, Nigerian Port Authority, Federal Ministry of Transportation, Federal Ministry of Labour and Nimasa. Mrs. Akpan of the Federal Ministry of Labour congratulated all parties on the collective bargaining negotiation for the agreement without resorting to the Federal Ministry of Labour.
Let me quickly thank or congratulate all of you for having been able to conclude your collective bargaining negotiations without having to refer back to the Federal Ministry of Labour on account of your inability to reach an agreement.
In his address, Nimasa's Executive Director of Maritime Labour and Cabotage Services, Engineer Victor Oche, thanked everyone for their continuous contribution towards promoting and ensuring industrial peace and harmony in the nation's maritime industry. Copies of the agreement were circulated for final signing and approval were presented for all parties to append their signatures for it to be binding. Speaking after the signing ceremony, the chairman of the Seaports Terminal Operators Association of Nigeria, Princess Vicky Hastrop, stated that the signing of the agreement means progress for the dock workers, their earnings and working conditions.
Signing of the NGIC agreement today, to the dock workers, I'm sure it means progress for them in terms of their earnings, in terms of their living condition, in terms of their working condition generally.
On his part, the President General of the Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria, Adewale Adeyanju, stated that it is a new dawn in the life of the dock workers.
It's a new dawn in the life of dock workers, like as I really said. It's one of the day that I think I will not forget so soon, because these are the things I've been clamoring for over the years.
Mr. Iman Ali Aminu, representing the Federal Ministry of Transportation, stated that the Minister of Transportation, Honorable Rotimi Amechi, is passionate about the development of the maritime sector and that the minister has been making sure that the welfare of workers in the maritime domain is adequately taken care of.
The Honorable Minister of Transportation's passion to see the development of the maritime sector is clearly spelled out. And everybody will be in the best position to know that, yes, the minister has been trying all his best to see that the workers' welfare is being taken care of.
The chairman of NJIC, Honorable Victor Oche, sums it up this way.
The inking of this agreement, which we call the collective bargaining agreement, is an agreement that brings different bodies ably represented, the labor, the employers of labor, government, and the labor itself, to a table where they can come together and put a minimum standard, which should be a ground norm for them to say this is the minimum they should earn. And it points out clearly that every employer employing labor, you will be sure you comply and will implement to the letter whatever agreement that has been inked today.
My name is Comrade Adewale Adeyanju, President General of Maritime Workers of Nigeria. You are watching Nimasa this week, the voice of maritime. Stay tuned.
Hello viewers, welcome to this segment of Know Your Conventions on Nimasa This Week, the voice of maritime. We're still speaking about international maritime conventions, and if you recall, a convention is a written agreement between countries. The International Maritime Organization, also known as the IMO, have developed a lot of conventions. They set the rules and standards for maritime international maritime industry and shipping generally. So over the years, the IMO have developed different conventions, but today we'll be speaking on the International Convention for the Standards of Training, Certification and Watchkeeping for Seafarers. And with me today to speak on that convention is Engineer Olu Aladenusi, the Acting Head of Maritime Safety, Seafarers and Standards Department. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Also, with Engineer Olu Aladenusi, we have here with me the Assistant Director, Exams and Certification, Engineer Ekong Otong. You're welcome to this segment.
Thank you very much.
What exactly is the International Convention on Standards, Training, Certification and Watchkeeping for Seafarers?
STCW is an international convention for standard of training, certification and watchkeeping. Before 1978, there was no standard for training and certification. These were not in place. Every flag administration on their own in their fleet provided a way of certification and training of their crew. This was causing a lot of problem because of diversity in the crew on the ship, and now invited a standardization that came about from IMO. We now have a level of all type of level of certification. We have chief engineer, we have masters, we have officer of the watch navigation, officer of the watch engine room. We have all sorts of grades of levels of training that are defined according to this convention.
What's this convention about? Who does it apply to? What's the implication of this convention? Can you just tell us what the convention is about and who it applies to?
This convention is key to the safety of navigation,
all right,
safety of the use of equipment on the ship, and then marine environment. It's completely applicable to the seafarer who are managing this vessel. If you don't have this standard of training, certification, and watchkeeping in place, we are ending for a serious emergency at sea. So this is key into the training of seafarer. And then for you as a seafarer on board to be technically aware, you must have the necessary training, you must have necessary certification, you must also have a watchkeeping experience that is required. Keeping a ship, where the ship, they say a ship is not safe, it doesn't mean by maybe certification or the ship is not seaworthy. If you have crew on board that are not properly trained and certificated,
the ship is unseaworthy then?
Unseaworthy.
Oh, okay. So, Mr. Ekong, let me come to you. That means that the human element to safety of shipping is very key. If we're talking about the human element and they need to be trained and well certified, what would you say when a ship owner goes on board with just anybody, people that are not trained, people that don't have certifications and all that? What is the implication of that?
Thank you very much. Just to let you know, give you a little bit of background into that as well. It is very important to note that accidents and incidents on board globally has been traced down to human elements. About 80% of accidents and incidents that happen on board has to do with the human element. So the importance of STCW, the standard of training and certification of watchkeeping, is very key in operations and safety of vessels and also the marine environment.
Does the convention apply to just seafarers? What does the Maritime Administration have to do? What does the nation need to do to ensure that the seafarers are professionals and have the right qualifications?
One, the convention does not apply to only the seafarer. It is applicable to ship owners, the MTIs, maritime training institutions,
maritime training
institutions, and
okay,
principally to the seafarers.
All right.
Every administration must have a chief examiner who husbands the arrangements and planning of the examination. With this, the officer who is the chief examiner of that administration must have capable hands and qualified examiners.
Okay, sir. So from the little you have said, the convention applies to seafarers,
ship owners,
ship owners,
maritime administrations, and then MTIs.
MTIS is Maritime
Training institutions.
Training institutions.
Yes.
Welcome back. It's still Nimasa this week, the voice of maritime. It's time for the DG's tweets. What has Dr. Bashir Jamo been tweeting in the past 1 week? Well, we've got a string of tweets for you, and we'd like to begin with, so we're talking deep blue, Nimasa's response to the problem of piracy in our waters. Hashtag deep blue loading. On display are the special mission helicopters, and the DG is tweeting, these Nimasa special mission helicopters will, alongside the special mission aircrafts and UAV drone system, collectively constitute the air component of our integrated maritime security architecture. We are committed to policing our waters for our economic prosperity. The DG goes on further, still on the special mission helicopter, to say yes in response to a question from one of his followers on Twitter. Yes, the hashtag Nimasa special mission helicopters have arrived in the country and are currently heading to a secure location to be reassembled for deployment in a matter of days. Many thanks. Hashtag deep blue loading, hashtag securing Nigerian waters, and of course, our favorite hashtag here on the program, the voice of maritime. One more tweet from the DG of Nimasa, and this time round, he pivots to maritime labor as he congratulates Comrade Adewale Adeyanju on his re-election as the President General of the Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria, hashtag MWUN. Your re-election is a strong pointer to your great strides and achievements, a mandate to do more for the maritime workers and the maritime industry. So there you have it, the DG's thoughts on social media, and you can continue this conversation with him. His Twitter handle is @JamoBashir, and the hashtag to use remains the voice of maritime. Additionally, we have our Nimasa official social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. They are all at Nimasa Official. You can also visit our website as displayed on your screen to learn more about what the agency is doing on a week-by-week basis. We hope you've enjoyed today's episode of our voyage around the world of maritime and that you've received significant enlightenment as to what Nimasa is doing to advance the nation's maritime fortunes. As I leave you with words from the renowned novelist Louisa May Alcott when she said, "I am not afraid of storms, for I am learning to sail my ship." Never be afraid of whatever storms you're facing, because Nimasa is right there with you to teach you how to sail. My name remains Ubong Essien. I'm asking you to stay on course. I'll see you next time.